A wave of excitement is building across the tech world as a device that once sounded too wild to be real suddenly edges closer to launch. A phone that shifts shape not once but twice, turning into something far bigger than its footprint. And the part no one expected, it may redefine premium pricing in a way that shakes up Samsung, Apple, and even Huawei at the same time. Because the biggest twist isn't the design, it's the strategy hidden behind it. Welcome back, viewers. Sam here. Like, share, and subscribe for more. For months, rumors of Samsung's multi-fold device floated around like tech folklore, with enthusiasts convinced it would arrive with an outrageous price tag reserved for a tiny circle of early adopters. But new details quietly surfacing show something far more interesting. Instead of climbing deeper into that ultra-luxury tier, Samsung is apparently steering the price downward, shaving off enough to make fans do a double take. It's still positioned as a flagship experiment, but the number being thrown around is surprisingly lower than what analysts predicted. And this is where things get exciting, because a trifold isn't just a foldable phone with more hinges. It's a device that has to convince people it has a reason to exist. Two folds mean two layers of engineering complexity, two potential failure points, and a completely different workflow for users. Yet Samsung seems incredibly confident, and that confidence is reinforced by leaks hinting at internal discussions, private previews, and product showcases that weren't meant for public eyes. One of those showcases in Korea reportedly displayed the device behind glass, not fully up for grabs, but enough to confirm that the project isn't just a concept drawing anymore. Now, here's where things take a dramatic turn. Alongside the pricing whispers, production plans are emerging, and they paint a very unusual picture. Samsung isn't gearing up for a mega launch. Instead, the company appears to be preparing a limited run, almost like a collector-level release, and that alone opens up a dozen questions. Is this a controlled experiment? A market test for future Fold Ultra models? A way to protect Samsung's reputation in case mass production becomes too complex? Or is it simply a strategic move to make the world crave the next evolution of foldable tech? The leaked production numbers are shockingly small for a Samsung flagship. Not the kind of quantity you associate with a device meant to dominate shelves. More like the kind of number reserved for something exclusive, experimental, and designed to generate conversation. And if this is true, it also suggests that Samsung isn't trying to battle Huawei or Apple on sales volume with this device. They're battling them on innovation narrative. But let's talk about the part that's stealing everyone's attention, the tree-folding mechanism itself. Unlike the familiar book-style fold series, this one uses a new approach that bends the screen in a U-shaped configuration. That means less tension on the panel, better alignment when closed, and the potential for a smoother, cleaner fold. It's a completely different experience. One that doesn't just widen the screen, but practically transforms the entire device into a mini tablet with a surprisingly large display. We're talking about something in the 10-inch zone when fully opened, which pushes it into a category Samsung hasn't truly explored before. It's almost like carrying a hidden tablet in your pocket, and as strange as that sounds, it reflects exactly where Samsung wants mobile computing to go. A device that replaces a phone, a small tablet, and even some laptop tasks. But here's the kicker. While the display size has been confirmed through early previews, Samsung still hasn't shared any official specs. No chipset details, no battery numbers, no camera configuration, nothing. And that silence is creating more curiosity than any spec sheet ever could. But the real shocker is how this move positions Samsung in the broader tech rivalry. Apple is working on its first foldable iPhone, expected to arrive somewhere around 2026, but Apple reportedly plans a single fold. Meanwhile, Samsung is basically standing on the rooftop saying, "We're already 3 steps ahead." This trifold becomes Samsung's way of sending a message, not just to consumers but directly to its biggest competitor. A signal that while others are entering the foldable era, Samsung is already experimenting with the era after that. And because of that, the trifold quietly influences the entire future of the Galaxy Z Fold lineup. The engineering breakthroughs Samsung achieves here, the new hinge system, the larger screen transitions, the refined crease behavior, all become stepping stones for the upcoming Fold Ultra and future high-end models. In other words, this trifold isn't just a product. It's a test platform disguised as a flagship built to shape everything Samsung does next. But that brings us back to the controversial question, should a device this experimental and this limited be sold globally? There's a real argument on both sides. On one hand, limited availability increases hype and keeps expectations in check, giving Samsung the freedom to experiment without mass market pressure. On the other hand, millions of loyal Samsung users around the world want to experience the future without being locked out because of limited production numbers. As discussions and leaks continue, one thing is absolutely clear: the Galaxy Z trifold is no longer a myth. It's a real machine, a bold step forward, and a sign that the next generation of mobile design will look completely different from the phones we're holding today. And if Samsung really nails it, the entire foldable market, including Apple's long-awaited entry, will have to speed up their plans. So, tell me in the comments, should Samsung make this futuristic device widely available, or should they keep it limited as a tech showcase? I'm curious to know where you stand. And of course, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the updates we're dropping as new leaks surface. Trust me, the next round will be even wilder.